Hello everyone, it's Winona from Dairy Barn Art, also the left-handed beater. I thought I'd do a little studio tour today. It's about as clean as it's going to get, I think, for a while. This little area here used to be my closet, and right now I just have jewelry that I've made for myself on display, and then I hang bracelets up here as well. Some of them are for myself, some of them are for display. This unit down here I picked up for $5 at a thrift shop before things got expensive. And it's loaded with books, with vintage books. Then I'm going to try to move slowly so I don't, and I'm hoping I'm not shaking too much. This here are the pearls. Some I bought, some I was so graciously gifted by Emma. That stack there is all my empty Potomac bead boxes, and then some empty plastic boxes. Oh, my quilting machine just stopped. These are Jesse James boxes I have to do yet. This here is an old cabinet that I bought at an antique sale years ago, and in it I've got all the quilts that need to be quilted yet. And then this drawer unit here houses most of my jewelry making supplies. So now I'm out of breath already. We are officially in my studio. So this area here is for my quilting machine, and this drawer unit houses all of my rulers, bobbins, things like that for quilting. I don't do quilting for people anymore. And here's my quilting machine. This is a quilt I did years ago. I cover my machine with it. It was just playing around with my machine before I had a computer for it. Just practicing. And here's a shelf with some of my vintage machines on it. A couple of them are antiques already, and some of the toys. Back there are containers all numbered with quilt kits in them, waiting to get done. Up above are some things that I've made. And then there's a bookcase back there with lots of books in it and some of my machines. This here is my quilting machine. And I'm not sure why it stopped. It's computerized now. But it is working on, oh, the thread broke. Oh, maybe I'm out of bobbin thread. It's working on stitching out that design on a baby quilt I'm making for my great niece Emma. So it just moves. It's like a sewing machine on steroids, and the computer moves it and stitches. And here's some of the stitching that it's doing. I won't take the time right now to change the thread, but I'm going to swing you around this way again. I've never done this before, so please forgive me. Here is a china cabinet I want to paint, and it's just got supplies in, and down there are things to go either to the thrift shop or to my friends. That's my paper, my cardstock, the bulk of it. Up above I have a vintage machine, and I've got music behind there, sheet music, and another machine. And then there's some more jewelry I made, and a couple of more machines. This is a filing cabinet I painted pink, and I keep some of the farm stuff in and some of my own stuff in. This machine here I bought because it was manufactured for the Regina Sewing Machine Center Limited in Regina, Saskatchewan, back when they used to badge sewing machines to sell as promotions, or maybe when you bought a car, you got a machine, sewing machine for your wife. But I'm from Regina, so I had to have that one. And this is an old Singer crank machine that I bought in Victoria. I don't know why the plate's off of there. Someone must have been playing with. This here are my kitties I used to have. That little orange tabby I had for over 20 years. And I still miss her. But they don't live forever. And here's another filing cabinet. This one's full of upholstery fabrics and scraps and things, and as well as the little one down there. This is an art corner for my granddaughter. Some projects she's not quite old enough yet to work with. This is called a scrap rack, and this houses all my stickers and everything. These are things I want to get rid of. I don't use them. They're perfectly fine, so I'm going to send them out in racks. If you don't know, Random Acts of Kindness to some people on a Facebook group. This is, I don't know where it goes, but I got to find a home for it. And underneath it is the book press my friend's husband made me. And then this is a project I quilted by, I didn't use the computer, I did this all freehand. It needs to be trimmed and finished. That'll be a pillow. There's my to-do project, and then just some stuff being stored there. And there's a toy sewing machine and some old dominoes and a bear. And that gives you an idea of how big, how massive this machine is. I can't even get it in frame. I'm moving back as far as I can. And I have storage all underneath it. Okay, I'm almost at the end of my room width-wise, and I can't even get this in frame. I'm going to pan it. There we go. And then I've got my inks, 3 inkers and sprays up there. This is my ironing surface my son made for me. And I need to put some labels on there, cut with the Cricut, and put them on there for my son. He wants Live, Laugh, and Hunt on there. That little cabinet that's empty, I used to have crystals in, but I've taken all my crystals downstairs. And then I've got my books, my devotionals, instruction books. And then there's the alley behind my machine. My machine takes up a really good part of my room. And then I'm going to turn you around here. I don't know if we can get a picture outside. It's so bright. That's the corner of our barn. And then this is my sewing area. So this is where I do my sewing. These are projects I'm currently working on. There's my embroidery machine. And all my thread. It's kind of a mess. There's my serger. And that's my sewing machine. I had to get a new machine because I can't use my foot pedal anymore because of my feet. So I had to get something that I could start and stop with a switch. This painting here my niece made me when she was about 16 years old. That's my dog in the corner and my orange tabby and our barn and wheat. At that point we were still grain farmers. Now we're just into beef. This is my granddaughter's center, and there's her little art supply caddy. This is her chair. I keep it with beside my recliner when she's not here. Then this area here, I like to have baskets. I like to, when I'm working on projects, use baskets. So I organize in baskets, and that's where I keep them. That first white cabinet's from IKEA with all the drawers that don't have labels. And that's kind of, I throw things in there because it was empty. So one of these days I'm going to have to spend a day or two and go through it. This is all filled with ribbons and lace, envelopes, bling, flowers, ephemera, brads and eyelets, clay, miscellaneous, pre-made cards, packing foam, all kinds of things. And that's my scraps in there. And this one is flowers. That one's ephemera. I've scanned into the computer, and that's electronics right there, cords and things. I keep my jewelry. I'm currently just finished that I still need to photograph and stuff right here. And then I'm going to swing you around slowly, I hope. And I also have a bust back here, which isn't showing because it's too bright outside, with some stuff on display. I was hoping I can get you a picture of our yard, but I don't think I'm going to be able. This is my art cart. It's got all my art supplies in it. My paints, my jelly plates, my little sewing machine that I also had to get to have a start-stop button for paper. This is the legend that I keep my ephemera folders. I need to sit for just a second here. So when I'm saying I need to look at ephemera folder number 1, that's my flowers. This way here, if I do decide I trade it out, I just change the legend. I don't have to put a new label on it. So they're all just numbered labels. Down below is my big kick. And then there's the thread that I picked up when I bought my vintage machines. I've got a vintage machine in a cabinet behind me, but I can't get that because of the sun. This is an art cart too, that I keep Mod Podge and the bigger supplies in, my watercolors, all that kind of stuff. Let's get up here. This is my work area. This is where I spend most of my days. And we'll start with this here. This is going to be a brief tour. I'm not going to open drawers and everything. These are all junk journal supplies. My paint brushes. This is the Gemini I bought because I thought if I was selling die cuts, I needed something easier to cut. And I'm just going to slide myself back so I can sit while I do this. If you don't know, I have neuropathy in my feet and I can't be on them for very long. So this is my desk. When I'm filming for Dairy Barn Art, this is where I'm working. My camera hangs above me. That basket here is for garbage as I'm doing a video, and I keep my keyboard under there, and a paper cutter, my Scorpa pals, and my Misty and Tim Holtz stamper, Radis, or whatever it is called. There's a wooden block, butcher's block there, not butcher's block, wooden cutting board. I sometimes open my top drawer and set stuff on, so then I set that on top of that. These drawers all have supplies in them. I don't know why that one's not closed all the way. Underneath is my pillow I keep my feet on, my heat tools, and in that container I have my distress ink, my distress ink pads, and different companies' ink pads that I use. And on this side as well I have drawers so things can be handy. My circle hole punches are in one drawer, so I'm often in that drawer. And then as we come closer, these boxes I made years ago, I keep my Copics in them. I haven't done much with Copics the last few years, but that's where I keep them. I'm sorry I'm shaking, I know that. This is die cuts for decorating and for sending out with my Etsy sales. Those are all the distress oxides that I own. Here's my little motivation: smile often, laugh loudly, love others. There's my granddaughter with my son. Up here, now people to my beading channel will know those are Potomac bead boxes that I've covered and I keep supplies in, and yesterday I labeled all of them. Here again are die cuts for Etsy orders and for decorating, all the way down, different things. Here I keep some beads, some of my Tim Holtz stamps. Those are my glues, the distress inks I use the most. These are my Spectrum Noir markers that I let the kids use when they come out, so they can alcohol ink with me, color with me, but they're not using my Copics. Those are my water markers, water brush markers. I can't remember, Zig. There's some envelopes to be altered, and some file folders, and some collage paper to do something with. Here's my computer I hook up to when I'm filming. It's a really old Mac. There's my little thread jar. I keep a big hunk of orange quartz, orange calcite I should say. Orange calcite is very for creativity, so I keep that nearby. This is for my water bottle or cup, a coaster I made. I tried resin one day. And in this corner, that basket contains supplies that I'm working on for my ephemera journal, there's in that purple container, I spray painted that old bowl, and I keep my dyed seam binding in there. Those are my close to my heart inks. My alcohol inks are up there, as well as milk bottles of, they're not milk bottles, they're just imitation, but of buttons, DVD. And then this is all just storage, some more of those IKEA, mostly paper in there, coffee dyed paper and such. Here's a cart with my ephemera on it. My friend made me this for Christmas, and I stuck some tags and things in there so it could look pretty. There's my gratitude book. These units here contain works in project that I'm videoing different things. Each slot has a different project in. I never did get to this here. I need to clean. These are things that need to get put away yet. This is a trolley I keep beside me so I can set stuff to the side when I'm doing videos or when I'm working on a project. And the drawers each have different things in. I should show you here. This drawer here has all my crocodile type corner punches and little hole punches, and my Tim Holtz stapler, another Potomac bead box that I'm starting to fill up with stuff, fabric embellishments. These are most of my stamps. And I'll admit to you, when I was going through chemo, this was my salvation. AliExpress. I haven't used about 90% of these stamps yet, and some of them are probably copyright infringement, but it got me through chemo. And then this is my kind of, it's got my paper towel and my distressors and some old books in it. I really don't know why I have it there. This is my huge honkin' TV that we put up. My quilting machine used to be over here, and I worked on the other side of the room, but it just seemed I couldn't get everything I wanted in here. So we moved it, so now I'm right beside the big TV. This is my mailing center where I keep stuff for sending out postage. Okay, I'm going to sit down in this chair now. I'm going to bring you around here. This is my beading center. So below it, I have those filled with things. This was before I started making jewelry, so I don't even know what's, I'm going to have to go through that one day and put them away properly in storage that I have now. But this is a necklace I'm currently working on, and some earrings I did yesterday. Those are Jesse James boxes to be finished. Another, well, that's part of that project. I don't want to get in the camera here, so I'm sending this up here. So there's my seed beads. I keep my tools up there. These are current Sam's bead box, bargain bead box projects. These are things on my list to do or fix. There's my water. This little container here I got from when I worked, and they gave it to me with a whole bunch of office supplies in it as a going away gift, and I can't give it up. I don't know what to do with it, but I keep the tools I don't use very often there, and my reader for credit cards, and just junk in general. These are all my Potomac bead weaving projects, and other bead weaving projects are ready to go at a moment's notice if I decide to go to the city. There's my computer for, this is my setup for my beading videos. I have my camera holders right there. I slide it to the side when I'm not using it. By the way, that says, "I love you very much, Grandma." Yeah, just my work area here. Here's a cart that I keep wires and stringing stuff on, and some of the things I use quite often are there for beading. And that's full of beads down there. And that again is full. There's art supplies in that filing cabinet. Any space is, every space is used up here. This is the computer my son built for me. It flashes. He built me pink for breast cancer. Okay, I'm going to get up again. This is a terrible video, and I may have to get my son to do it one day for me. A better job of it. But anyway, these are vinyl things I put up on the wall. More of my vintage machines. Some of my irons. This is where I film for Etsy, or take pictures for Etsy. It's my little photo booth. There's some of my crystals. That whole container is filled with glimmer mists and Lindy's stamp gang mists. It's my papers. This is my laser printer. And under it is Etsy stuff. My printing center, my 2 printers, and paper. Those are my rulers for quilting. I'm kind of in the other kind of kitty corner from my sewing area. I keep all my punches in this cart. That's cardboard and stuff to alter. And then this is just going to be a quick look at my closet. My closet will never be organized. Those are all dies for cutting fabric. So this is my closet. It's kind of sort of organized, but not. I need to spend a day in there going through stuff again too. It's constant. This big cutting table was given to me by my friend and her sister. They had her sister's husband make it for me. It's huge, but it has bookcases underneath. So I keep my Cricut, my Scan and Cut, and my Silhouette under there. That suitcase is vintage. It needs to be, it has old men's shirts in it, like not flannel, but plaid. And I cut them up and make quilts with them, but those all need to be cut up yet. And if I put it away, it'll never happen. But if I leave it there, it'll annoy me enough that one day I'll just start cutting. I bought these TV trays at a garage sale because when I'm working, I often need another place. Like when I set my Cricut or something up, I need a place to set it on. And they really come in handy just to set up a portable space to work from. So anyway, that's kind of the gist of my room. I wish I could have showed you more of their yard, but it's just too bright, and maybe in the summer I'll do another video. I spend most of my days up here, and I love it. Don't get a lot done, but I love, 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 love it. So anyway, I'll let you go. Take care. I hope I didn't make you too dizzy. I wish you lots of luck and happiness until we meet again. Bye-bye.